Bachi 2007 back at you with another one. And we're going to talk about the Jonathan Majors trial again. On Friday, after some text messages were read in court, we had Twitter all up in a tizzy, and of course people were taking laps based on what you can see in this People magazine article headline here. This is at people.com. And there's some text messages read where it was claimed that he admitted to hitting her. And I remember I saw that come across that kind of headline on Twitter. I was like, wow, so he admitted to beating her that night? And so then I'll go and look at the text messages, which first are vague, but secondly, have nothing to do with that night. That's the first thing. But let's get into it. Jonathan Majors appears to admit physically attacking ex Grace Jabbari, and text messages entered into evidence. Before I read the article and we break down this situation, please go ahead and like the video. Give me a like, that'll help us grow the channel and we can get into investigating and dissecting this thing. Also consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to come back for more. So getting back into this, let's go ahead. The text message regarding an earlier incident were previously deemed inadmissible at trial. So this is an earlier incident. Of course, the way the headlines read, initially you would have thought that he had admitting to going back to the apartment and beating her that night, because we have on the scene where the original incident happened, as we've been showcasing in the videos that I've been playing. In both cases, the victim admits she initiated the violence and pursued Majors, even chasing him up the street as he tried to get away from her to not be in a confrontation. And there's video evidence showing all that. So either way, we know at the scene of the original confrontation, nothing happened. She appeared to be injured later that night, but she was at the apartment by herself for hours before Majors came back around. So the whole text message issue is from a incident earlier, has nothing to do, in no way it proves that he aggressed or even assaulted her at all that night. All right, it reads here, in text messages between Jonathan Majors and accuser Grace Jabbari, the Marvel actor appeared to admit to physical violence against his now ex 6 months before Majors was arrested in March and charged with assault in a separate domestic violence case. I fear you have no perspective. This is part of the quote from the text message, Majors to Jabbari. I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital, Majors 34 texted Jabbari 30 in September 2022. In September 2022, this incident happened in March. You cannot extrapolate that something that happened in one incident then happened in this one. This incident also happened in England. New York City has no jurisdiction over an incident that happened in England. If he committed a crime on that night and he's being charged, he can only be charged for what he did at that specific time and the specific location he's being charged for. You cannot be charged for what somebody believes you did previously in another jurisdiction. So this has no bearing on the immediate case, and that's why it was initially deemed inadmissible. So what happened was, as I read in another article that I couldn't find again today, or I'm not going to keep looking for it, but basically his lawyer messed up. Actually, let me see if I can find that. Okay, here it is in an MSN article starting from where I have it highlighted. The incident is separate from the March encounter in which Majors allegedly assaulted Jabbari in a hired car on the Manhattan Bridge after she found out he'd been cheating on her. Details about the earlier incident that led to the text exchange were not disclosed in court initially. The potential damning text might have never surfaced had it not been for the Ant-Man and the Wasp actor's own lawyer, who opened the door to them when previously grilling Majors' accuser, Jabbari Grace. But the Manhattan District Attorney's Office said on October that it had turned over a copy of that report from September to Majors' lawyers, and he had sought medical records from the incident. So basically what happened was the way that she opened the door to this was, let's see, okay, it says here, the court previously ordered the text to be shielded from the public, but Judge Michael Gaffey found Friday that the prosecution could disclose them because Major's lawyer, Pierre Chowdhury, had tried to impugn Jabbari's character while grilling her Thursday about why she gave vague answers to police at first about the alleged March assault. So basically, this was a situation where they, in the law, where they say that this other prior incidents will prejudice the jury because just because you did something or may have done something in the past does not it's not evidence that you did what you're being charged for now in this particular incident. You have to have your evidence has to be about this particular incident, or it can't come in. You can't give me evidence of something else to try to prejudice the jury to make them think, then, well, you must have did this too. But when his lawyer foolishly grilled the defendant on why she was being vague about her answers, well, then that opened the door to allow that evidence to come in, because the answer is, well, because I'm trying to keep out I'm trying not to discuss the earlier incident. So if his lawyer hadn't messed that up, that wouldn't have come in. Okay, so going back to what the text said, I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital. They will ask you questions, and as I don't think you'll actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something. Okay. And in that message, Major also stated it's just fake, but based on the message put into evidence, it was not clear what he was calling fake, and no context was provided in court. So in the text messages displayed to the jury and read into the record by Jabbari on the fourth day of the trial, let's go forward. And then this is her responding to him. I will tell the doctor I bumped my head, Jabbari cried as she read aloud the messages in court. Then, unable to continue through her tears, Assistant District Attorney Kelly Galloway took over. I will tell the doctor I bumped my head. If I go, I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need some stronger painkillers. That's all. Why would I tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you? So it's also clear that Majors got into a physical confrontation with her. But what we don't have any clue from these messages whatsoever, where he also said he was going to commit suicide and what a horrible person he was. What we're not clear from is these messages, again, as with the incident in March that he's on trial for, where she again admits to initiating the violence and pursuing physical confrontation with him, even as he literally ran away from her. We don't know what happened in that incident. We don't know that he's some woman beater who wouldn't beat her. It could be in that incident she also was the aggressor and he aggressively defended himself. Which in that case, when we get to the situation in March, what that shows where all he tried to restrain her, push her away, let her stay in the car. He wanted to walk away. She still kept coming after him, and he literally did not just walk away, but ran away from her, that he learned an even better way to try to handle her violence and aggression, which was to try to and get away from her. That's what we could also take from what we have. So people can give this notion that, oh, see, she got injured in confrontation with him previously. That proves he's a woman beater. No, it doesn't. What it could just as easily prove is that she likes to get into violent confrontations often, and his actions in March, where the incident he's being charged for, which again is on video showing him literally running away from her aggression, is that he could have learned better how to deal with her violent outburst by just getting out of the situation altogether, so he doesn't even have to be in a circumstance. And when he's talking about, yeah, I don't want people to know or hear about this, it's because of the clear and obvious societal reaction that if a physical confrontation happened, if anything happens in a relationship, if a relationship ends, it must be the man's fault. What did he do? A woman comes and says, yeah, me and my boyfriend broke up. What did he do to you? Wait a minute. How do we know it isn't what she did? He must have cheated. Wait, maybe she cheated. There was a physical confrontation, and again, video evidence and the victim in court admits she initiated the violence. She pursued the confrontation when the man tried to run away, but yet the man is on trial. So his text messages could have been him pleading with her because he knows he's not going to win in the court of public opinion, as proven on Twitter right now. So it doesn't matter that she might have aggressed or initiated the incident, that she might have been confronting him and he might have been defending himself against her aggressive action. He knows that he's not going to win if this comes out that she got injured in a confrontation, no matter if she was the aggressor or not. He knows he's going to always be blamed, particularly with her being a white woman and him being a black man. But just man and females, period. It's what you can expect. So he could rightfully be concerned about his reputation, that irregardless of his guilt or not, irregardless if he's in the wrong or not, he has to worry that his reputation is going to be destroyed and that he's going to be presumed guilty by the social body politic, as is the case right now, proving itself out. So we still don't know one way or another what happened. We don't have any details on that previous incident in London in September, and that surely doesn't shed any light on what he did or didn't do in March in New York. So that's that situation, and that's our address of it. About your 2007. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm out.